Zombies are spreading throughout the world, and the world is ending. Look at all this. A poor man gets trapped in an elevator with zombies and tries to escape, but it's no use. He's surrounded by zombies from all sides. Will he be able to escape and get out of the elevator? What's happening in the world right now that led to this man being trapped here with the zombies? That's what we'll see in today's summary. So let's start the film in Rome, Italy. We're currently introduced to a man named Claudio. Claudio works in the business world and has a very long history in it. He's incredibly famous and successful in his work. Anyway, we see Claudio getting into a car with a driver to go to the company where he works. This driver, by the way, is someone Claudio is meeting for the first time. He asks him who he is, and the driver tells him that his regular driver has problems, so he sent him in his place. Claudio agrees. Claudio agrees with the driver and gets in the car. They drive towards the company. On the way, the driver talks to Claudio and learns that his field of study is economics and that he just wants a chance to work for him. Here we learn a side of Claudio's personality. He's very reserved. He tells the driver without any flattery or softening that he won't hire him, help him, or help anyone like him. This shocks the driver, but he doesn't respond and continues driving until he reaches the company where Claudio works. Claudio enters the company and immediately meets a young woman named Sylvia who works there. Sylvia brings Claudio his coffee and tries to remind him of who she is as she's a new employee. Claudio realizes he knows her very well and promises to talk to his assistant Sarah to secure her position at work. And it's clear that Claudio doesn't remember Sylvia at all, but he intends to keep her there because, as I'm telling you, he's infatuated with her, and that's why he's determined to keep her there no matter what. He leaves Claudio and Sylvia and goes to take the elevator to his office. Also in the elevator is another woman who works at the company and is close to Claudio named Martha. Claudio starts talking to Martha, and we learn from their conversation that Claudio is cheating on his wife Lorena with Martha, and Martha is cheating on her husband with Claudio. They're both trash to say the least. Claudio and Martha are saying they want their relationship to last a long time, but Martha is fed up with all this mess and tells Claudio she won't cheat on her husband again. So Claudio shamelessly tells her he's cheating on his wife with her, and as long as they're both happy, there's no problem. It's the height of rudeness, my friend. And at that moment, Martha gets angry and hits Claudio. After a while, he arrives at Martha's floor, so she gets out and leaves Claudio alone in the elevator. Claudio continues on his way to the floor where his office is. Meanwhile, Larea, Claudio's wife, calls him and tells him something very strange, that all the news are talking about unnatural violence and riots happening everywhere in Rome and the world, and that the army has been deployed to the city. Claudio doesn't pay any attention to this, it doesn't bother him at all. While Claudio is talking to Lorena, the elevator suddenly stops working. Claudio asks Lorena to hang up until he finds the elevator and gets it moving. Lorena agrees and hangs up. Afterwards, Claudio contacts the elevator technicians to fix it and get him out. The technician replies that he'll send 2 workers to fix the elevator, and Claudio agrees and hangs up. Then Claudio calls his assistant Sarah, who asks him exactly where he is because he has an important meeting with investors today and they're waiting in the office. Claudio tells her he's trapped in the elevator but is trying to get out to meet the investor. Then Claudio calls the worker he spoke to earlier and asks about the workers who were supposed to fix the elevator. The worker tells him he sent them and they were supposed to be fixing it. Claudio gets the workers' numbers from the foreman who's been speaking to him. Then Claudio calls the workers, and that's when things get crazy. The workers tell Claudio they're on their way, but suddenly, Claudio hears someone attacking them. Everyone starts screaming into the line and the line cuts out. Claudio, who understands everything perfectly, calls the foreman again and tells him what happened and asks him to fix the elevator. The foreman agrees and hangs up. Then Lorena calls Claudio, telling him the riots have escalated and she's scared to be alone in the house. She wants him to come immediately. Claudio tells her he'll send his friend Stefano to take her somewhere safe until he gets out. Claudio calls Stefano and asks him to pick up his wife and take her to a safe place. Stefano agrees and hangs up. Claudio tries to open the elevator door and manages to open it a little bit. He can't get out completely, but he can at least see which floor he's stuck on. He starts calling for help to get him out, but no one helps him. No one comes to his aid at all, my friend. Then something unbelievable happens because suddenly Claudio sees Marta in front of him pleading for help. Claudio doesn't understand anything at all, but he can't help her. Suddenly people come and pull her away, and Claudio still doesn't understand anything. But it's not long before Claudio finds himself facing 2 zombies coming to attack him, and that's when we understand everything. Zombies, my friend, have spread throughout the world and even in this company. These are the same zombies who pulled Marta away a little while ago, and now they want to attack Claudio and kill him, but they can't get into the elevator. They hear a sound coming from afar, so they leave the place and leave Claudio behind. Claudio is, of course, in a state of extreme terror. The biggest disaster is that after a while, Lorena calls Claudio and tells her she's terrified
terrified because of the chaos everywhere, and no one's come to her aid. Soon after, Claudio hears a zombie breaking into his wife's apartment. His wife, Lorena, screams, then the sound cuts out completely, meaning she's dead. Claudio is shocked and realizes the zombies have killed her. He's incredibly upset. He tries to contact the workers, begging them to get him out immediately. The problem is, the foreman suddenly starts saying zombies are attacking him and keeps screaming, and the line cuts out again. Claudio realizes the foreman has also been attacked by zombies and is probably dead. This means that Claudio will be trapped there for a while, maybe even forever. Soon after, Marta arrives, transformed into a zombie, and tries to attack Claudio, but she can't get into the elevator. Claudio, in his desperation, gets a metal bar. He throws her out of the elevator and keeps hitting her on the head with it until she dies. And then we're done with her. After that, Claudio uses the iron bar he has and pushes Marta's body away from the elevator so he doesn't see her dead in such a gruesome state. Then Claudio takes some paper and puts it on the blood that has turned into the elevator water because he definitely doesn't want to see that blood. After a while, Claudio finds Sylvia in front of him trying to escape from the zombies. Claudio calls out to her to get him out of there, or rather to come and hide with him from the zombies. But the problem is that at that moment, a zombie comes and attacks Sylvia, but she manages to escape from it and goes back to the zombie and kills it. After that, Sylvia goes to Claudio and is very happy that she was able to get rid of the zombie, and Claudio keeps encouraging her. But not a few minutes pass, and literally 2 more zombies appear and attack Sylvia and finish her off. Of course, Claudio is shocked by everything that's happening and doesn't know what to do. After a while, Claudio receives a call from his wife, Lorena, who tells him she's safe and that nothing happened to her. But the problem is, it isn't long before zombies attack Lorena's house. Claudio hears her screaming and knows that this time his wife is definitely dead. Of course, he's shocked again and keeps crying, feeling helpless. Claudio is stuck in the elevator with nothing but Marcello's gun, not knowing what to do amidst all this. One of Claudio's colleagues from work, Marcini, approaches him. Marcini is escaping from the zombies and asks Claudio to let him in with the captive, but Claudio is discouraged and doesn't let him in or even help him, just saying, but the door won't open because he can't open it. In the middle of all this, a zombie reaches the place, so Marcini runs away from them. We don't really know what happened to him, but the zombies probably finished him off or he escaped. Anyway, after a short time, he finds Claudio and a lot of zombies in the place. They gather at the elevator door and Claudio starts fighting them. In the middle of all this, Claudio's assistant's car is in front of them, and when the zombies see it, they run towards it. Claudio is losing his mind and keeps calling to the zombies to come here and leave his assistant, but they run after his assistant and enter the office. Claudio starts hearing a scream and sees a lot of blood coming out of the office, so he knows that the zombies finished him off. Anyway, in the middle of all this, Claudio hears the sound of gunfire coming from outside the elevator.
He looks to see what's happening and finds a police officer killing zombies. This officer, by the way, when he finishes off the zombie, approaches Claudio and tells him his name is Marcello. Marcello asks Claudio if he's been bitten by a zombie or something. Claudio tells him he's not injured at all. At that moment, Claudio sees a zombie coming towards Marcello and warns him. Marcello quickly turns around and kills the zombie. Afterwards, Marcello thanks Claudio for helping him and saving him from the zombie and tells him that he will help him too. Marcello gives Claudio a gun for self-defense and a walkie-talkie. Marcello tells Claudio to use the walkie-talkie to direct him to the maintenance room to fix the elevator. Claudio agrees, thanks Marcello, takes the walkie-talkie and the gun, and Marcello leaves. Claudio continues to communicate with Marcello and direct him to the maintenance room to fix the elevator. Marcello manages to reach the maintenance room and get the elevator working. Claudio tries to open the elevator door but fails. He finds that something is blocking the door and he can't open it at all. Then a large number of zombies gather in front of the elevator. Some of these zombies are Claudio's assistants, sir, and they are all actually Claudio's colleagues at work. This terrifies Claudio, and he can't bring himself to kill them. He keeps telling Marcello on the radio that he has to kill them, so Claudio pulls out his gun and starts killing them one by one until he's finished them all off. Afterwards, Claudio contacts Marcello, and they both learn that he's finished off all the zombies. Marcello is overjoyed and tells him that he's coming to try to open the elevator door together. But the problem is that moments pass quickly, and then Marcello tells Claudio that there are a lot of zombies coming for him. Marcello starts screaming, and then the line cuts off. This is when Claudio realizes that Marcello is likely dead too, and this shocks him deeply. It's like every time he has hope that someone will save him, that person dies. It's not easy at all. Anyway, Claudio sits alone in the elevator, feeling utterly hopeless, with nothing but Marcello's gun. After a while, a lot of zombies come to the elevator and try to get in. Claudio is feeling incredibly desperate, so he puts the gun to his mouth and decides to kill himself. But before he can, he hears Claudio and Marcello's voice coming from above the elevator. Marcello tells him to open the elevator hatch from above so he can get in. Claudio uses the metal bar he has and manages to open the hatch. Marcello gets into the elevator, and they kill the zombies that have gathered in front of it. The elevator then takes Marcello to Claudio, and they learn about the current disaster. When the zombies attacked him a little while ago, they bit Marcello, and that means it will only be a short time before he transforms. In his last moments, Marcello tells Claudio about his wife, whom he loves very much, and whose name is Chiara. Marcello tells Claudio that he is not afraid for Chiara because he has put her in a large government shelter, and she is safe and alone. Claudio is shocked that the government has made a shelter for officers and their families like Marcello and his wife Chiara. Claudio then asks Marcello, what is the reason for the spread of the zombies? Marcello tells Claudio that the government, or rather its high-ranking officials, claim that the zombies have been spreading for some time due to a disease contracted by a pet. This disease, they say, has been spreading for a while, and all the officers and other officials have known about it for a long time. They believe the zombies will soon spread, which is why they took all their families and put them in shelters for protection. Marcello tells Claudio that he doubts an animal is the cause of the zombie outbreak, and is certain that the government is secretly conducting experiments. He believes one of these experiments went out of control and caused the zombie outbreak. Claudio is shocked by Marcello's words, but doesn't comment. The biggest shock comes when Marcello tells Claudio that he feels he is beginning to transform, and that Claudio must kill him to prevent him from becoming a zombie. Claudio categorically refuses and doesn't let this go. A long time passes, and Marcello turns into a zombie. Claudio tries to stop him, and a shot goes off, leaving Claudio with a leg wound. But Claudio manages to push Marcello away and shoots zombie Marcello twice in the head, finally finishing him off. Of course, Claudio stands there shocked and disbelieving Marcello's body. Then, as usual, zombies appear in front of the elevator, and Claudio kills them one by one.
After he finishes them off, Claudio feels immense despair and considers ending his own life, as he has no hope of getting out. But hope returns to Claudio in the form of a call from his wife, Lorena, who tells her that she is still alive and well. When her house was attacked, she managed to escape the zombies and went down to the street, where army forces found her and took her to a shelter. Claudio is overjoyed and asks Lorena about the location of her shelter. But before she can answer, because Claudio is unlucky and his phone dies, he can't find out exactly which shelter Lorena is in. Despite this, Claudio is incredibly happy that his wife is safe and unharmed, which renews his hope of escaping somehow. So, Claudio gets the metal bar he has and tries to remove the metal blocking the elevator door. He tries again and again until he finally manages to move the bar and open the elevator door. Then, Claudio retrieves Marcello's body to climb out of the elevator and continues climbing until he finally manages to get out. Claudio is shocked to find the zombie bodies in front of the door, which he himself killed. We didn't see much of the film, and Claudio kept looking at the bodies in shock, unable to believe any of it had actually happened. But in the end, Claudio leaves the place feeling relieved. He then wanders around the company, trying to get out. All he sees are dead zombies everywhere. Claudio is shocked that everyone is dead because, by the way, they were his colleagues at work, and he knows everyone else is dead, except him. Now, one of his female colleagues has turned into a zombie and is still alive, but her leg is missing. She crawls around and tries to attack Claudio, so he kills her to end her suffering. Finally, Claudio leaves the company, and when he gets outside, he finds dead zombies everywhere. Of course, there are no humans in the streets, and the world is completely destroyed. Claudio is losing his mind. The whole world changed completely in the few hours he was in the elevator. Anyway, as Claudio is walking, he finds a dead zombie in the street. With the zombie is a bottle of milk, and he remembered that Lorena had asked him to get milk before. So he takes the milk to give to his wife Lorena when he sees her again. Before Claudio can even catch his breath, he finds one of the zombies lying on the ground about to attack him. But before Claudio can do anything, someone shoots the zombie dead. The person who shot the zombie is an army sniper who is standing on a rooftop. Claudio keeps signaling to the officer, who sees that Claudio is human, not a zombie, and decides to rescue him and take him to a shelter where he can live safely. And so, my friend, we know that Claudio will finally go to the shelter and be safe, and he will surely meet his wife Lorena in the end. Something will be fine, and with what happened, at least, yes, the end of the world has begun, and the world is destroyed, and the video is ending. Leave a comment below and tell us what you'd like us to summarize in the next video, or if there's a specific series you really want us to summarize or that you'd like to see on this channel. Let us know in the comments. That's all.